I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different, and every breakup is different. Work with me, and you'll get professional help on your situation. Just click on the link in the description below, or go to my website, askcraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about don't be a backup plan. Well, oftentimes when we're going through a breakup, we can find ourselves in a situation where we are settling for less. We could be very scared that we're going to lose our ex for good, and so we often will put ourselves in a position where we are desperate, we're acting desperate, we're settling for less than what we really want, and we're settling for less than what we deserve. And when you get attached to somebody and you love them, you really want them a part of your life. And that's natural because you're attached and you're connected and you don't want to lose that person. And oftentimes that fear of losing them clouds your judgment, and you might do something like settle for being friends, which I definitely never agree with, to settling for being friends with an ex, at least an ex that you're still romantically interested in, because oftentimes an ex will put us in a position where they want us as a backup plan because they want to go out and explore other options and then know that if those options don't work out, they have a safety net. And you don't want to be somebody's backup. Nobody gets excited about a backup, right? Like, a backup is like, I'm not really excited about this. I don't really want this. But if I really need to, I could go for that. Like maybe if you're buying a house and there's, one house that's, okay, and it's going to be sitting there, it's not going to be sold right away. If you know that, you're going to go out and look for all these other houses and see if there's anything more exciting out there. Well, if all of a sudden you know that there's other buyers looking at that house, you're going to be thinking, oh, you know what? That really is a nice house. Maybe there isn't anything else out there. That's kind of like what I'm trying to get out here. If they think you're going to be sitting around waiting for them, they're going to put you as a backup. They're going to go explore, see what else might be better, not necessarily that you are better or worse, but in their mind they're just going to keep seeing what's exciting, what's new, and know that, they can go to you whenever they want. That's why when somebody breaks up with you, you have to walk away. They have to have that fear of, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose this person for good too. That's why I tell you guys, don't tell somebody you're going to wait for them. I would never tell an ex that broke up with me that I'll be waiting for them. And I know, I tell you guys to say things like, if you change your mind, let me know. That's completely different than I'll be waiting for you, okay? There's a big difference. I know the wording can sound a little bit similar. It could be a little confusing. But I'll be waiting for you is like, nobody's excited about that. Nobody really wants that. And nobody's going to get that thrill of the hunt. You know what I mean? So you don't want to be somebody's backup plan. And I've got a good email today from a guy who's in his mid-20s. Now, he's been dating this girl who's in her early 20s for a little over a year. And he was telling me a little bit about her family life. And he said she has a good relationship with her parents and always had one. Their whole family is very close and they meet up a lot. Her father is loving, caring, and a little tough. Her mother is chilled and relaxed, and she's very close to her. She has an older brother and a younger brother, and I'm pretty sure their childhood was very good. Well, based on what you wrote, it sounds like it was a pretty secure family. Um, so I would say that's probably fairly different than a lot of the families that I see. I think supposedly it's like 50% of the families that we see are secure, but I really just don't think it's that high. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but in my experience in both my professional life and my relationships with my friends and family, it just doesn't seem that secure attachment is up to 50%. But that's just my opinion. So, he said, a couple of days after our vacation, they went on vacation together, she said that she feels like something isn't right in the last 2 weeks and that something is missing. I didn't see this coming at all. There were times she was zoned out in our vacation. I might have been a little bit more needy at these times, but tried not to be. Most of the trip was amazing. Well, I think you've been watching my videos for a while, and now that you're looking back, you're reflecting and saying, you know what, I was probably doing some really needy behavior. You didn't get into it here, but I can only imagine what you were doing. Maybe, she was wanting to have a little bit of freedom or space away from you on the trip. Sometimes you go on a vacation like that and you're in a confined environment for a long period of time. People can get on each other's nerves. Maybe you got on her nerves and she was feeling disconnected from you, annoyed by you, and that's what something's missing. Yeah, the attraction is missing because she's feeling smothered. I asked her if she wants a break, and she replied, nodding yes. I was at work, and we had to go. At the end of the workday, I told her that I feel that she wants to break up and wants me to be on her hook. Well, that's interesting. Why would you say this? I'm not sure where this came up from. Based on what you've told me, I don't understand why you would think that she wants you on the hook. That's interesting. I'm wondering if you have an anxious attachment style and maybe somebody's done that to you in the past before, and so now you're particularly sensitive to that? That would be my guess. I told her we could talk more about our problems or just break up. We agreed to break up as she failed to give me any answers. Well, that's really common in these situations where a woman is saying something like, something's missing, I don't know what it is. Oftentimes, she won't be able to give you the answers because she doesn't know what's going on there. I didn't want to be her backup plan for this breakup. Well, good for you. I would never want to be somebody's backup plan either. I smiled and told her that I respect her decision and walked away. 2 days later, she wanted to meet again. We met and she said that she feels that we had a bad communication. We never fought over anything and that I told her that I loved her. Well, that's interesting because now she's reaching back out to you and she's saying we had bad communication. And I'm not sure where she's getting that from. What is it that she's been unhappy about that the communication is off? Interesting. I would need to hear more about that to kind of assess that a little bit further. Okay. I explained to her that I wasn't sure until recently, and saying it has less meaning than showing it. Oh, in regards to telling her that you loved her. I told her that I love her and would like to work on this relationship and asked her if she felt the same. She replied she doesn't know. Yeah, see, at this point, she's really confused and she's trying to figure out what's going on with herself. Now, I don't know if there's another guy in the picture, and that's why you're afraid of being her backup plan. But you're obviously concerned that you're a backup plan and that she's maybe exploring other options. So maybe there is something going on inside you. Maybe it's in your gut that's telling you there's another guy. It's interesting though, because you were on vacation together. The conversation didn't go anywhere from there, as she kept saying she just doesn't know, and I didn't want to pressure her. We walked away. She called me a couple hours later crying and told me that she's not playing games and she really doesn't know anything and is very confused. I'm guessing that your needy behavior is what's making her confused here, unless there's another guy here that we just don't know about, which of course is possible, but I don't see any hints at it so far in this email. She asked me to take a risk of a 2-week break. It didn't feel right for me, and I declined. The next day, I gave her all her stuff back. I haven't spoken to her in almost 2 weeks. Well, I could see why you went with that. It was almost like, because let's face it, usually when somebody says they want a break, it's going to wind up being a breakup. So, I'm not that opposed to you having done this, because by you saying, I don't want to take a break, let's just break up, that would actually create some anxiety in her. Now, this is a risky move, but, you made it before you came to me, so I would have really talked that through with you and talked all the scenarios before you made that decision or told her that. I would have need to know what her interest level was a little bit better, and I think talking with you about that would have given me a better idea what was going on before I said to say that or not. As far as the breakup, I was very confused and went on no contact. We work at the same place and I see her a couple of times a week. I just say hello with a little smile and keep minding my own business. I try to keep focus on the future, but it's very hard for me. Okay. My ex said that 2 of the biggest problems in our relationship was lack of communication. She also said that it was her problem. We never fought, and I didn't say I loved her. Okay, well this is the first I'm hearing about this. Makes me wonder if she didn't feel cared about. She also told me that I work too much, and many times until the night comes, and always too tired after work. I told her that I understand it, and it annoys me too, but it's just a short phase of my life. Seems like she's feeling disconnected. And then maybe when she's around you, she's feeling smothered. What happened all of a sudden with her, and what should I do next if I want her back? I'm not sure whose turn it is to throw the ball, or if I did anything wrong. Well, you said you thought you were probably being needy, so that probably was turning her off. You weren't arguing, but at the same time you weren't communicating well with each other, and there's some kind of disconnect going on here. Now, you're worried about being a backup plan. Why? What makes you think that you are going to be a backup plan? Because it didn't sound like, based on what I'm reading, that there's any kind of guy that she's dating. A lot of times, there's somebody else in the picture, and that's a challenge to navigate because that can get really confusing. But in this situation, I'm not sure why you think she's going to put you as a backup. Now, it's possible that she could feel a little bit free to kind of move on mentally while keeping you wondering if she's going to come back again. That I could see. But she's also coming to you and saying she's not playing games. She's just really confused. Now, I don't know, and that makes me wonder if there's another guy, but it could also be that just that feeling smothered by you is making her just feeling disconnected, and not that excitement and that fun and that playfulness that causes the tension and the attraction between two people. So I don't think you're at a huge risk of being her backup plan in this situation, but you did already kind of say, look, I'm not interested in a break, and you did the breakup already, so you've already kind of moved on here. I would say let her come to you, because she was probably already feeling smothered and trapped. And we want her to start to miss you. We want her to start to think about you and worry that you're going to move on here, because now you're not in her, in her position of, I want to keep you as some kind of backup. You're like, nope, I'm out, and so you've moved on. So I think just let her come to you when she's ready, and I think she will. I think this girl is still really confused, and I think she really cares about you. And so I think you have a good shot at re-attracting her. It's just a matter of being confident and letting her come to you on her own terms. Don't be needy with her like you were before. I would look at an anxious attachment style and watch my videos on attachment styles. See if you have an anxious attachment style. You didn't really give me an indication if she has an avoidant attachment style. If anything, it seems like, based on her family life, she might have a secure attachment style. And she has been fairly effective in the way she communicates with you too. She did say, I'm not playing games with you, so she was aware that it might have come across that way because of her wishy-washy behavior. So that tells me that maybe she is leaning towards the secure end of the attachment. But, based on what you told me here, that's all I can go of. Obviously, that's all I can go of. But let her come to you. I think she's going to be attached to you. I think she's going to start to miss you. And then you take things from there. So, if you want to get my help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works for you. I do email coaching. I do Skype coaching. And if you have to get with me right away, I do offer the emergency after-hours coaching. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.